Indeed, there is some more people than some minutes ago, than in the first half. Okay, so I'm very pleased to be here in South Africa. It's not the first time, but for this quite interesting conference, we are learning many things. Just some reminders about the UMTS Forum. We are a cross-sector industry body composed of manufacturers, operators, administrations, in order to communicate and promote a common vision of 3G UMTS and evolution, long-term evolution, and particularly we encourage a dialogue between industry, between administrations and policymakers, and particularly in those emerging markets like Africa, of course, but like also Brazil, Russia, India, China, and other ones. And we were mostly involved in the last World Radio Conference, 2007, where we fought for more spectrum for the mobile industry and IMT. And you have here just an overview of our key focus areas and work plan for 2008, with three main domains of productions of our reports and studies: markets and trends, spectrum regulation, and new technologies and implementation issues. And let's quote mobile TV and LTE as main tasks. Some figures to remind the status of mobile broadband and 3G around the world. At the end of March, we had about 320 million 3G subscribers worldwide, including more than two-thirds of 3G UMTS, 220 million, and one-third of CDMA 2000 EVDO. For UMTS, this represents around 215 networks commercially launched in 90 countries, and majority of it being already upgraded in HSPPA with 185. But also the uplink part of HSPA, high-speed packet access, high-speed uplink packet access, is now deployed in 35 networks. And in terms of devices, it represents nearly 1,000 of devices, including 400 HSPA. The geographical splitting of those subscribers split themselves in 50% in Western Europe, 43% in Asia Pacific, but also growing proportion in other parts of the world, including Africa. And concerning the 3G plus HSPA subscriptions, you can see that North America and Asia Pacific are the most dynamic in this uptake, and maybe ahead of Western Europe. This map shows you from December 2006 to December 2007 the progress in the growth in wideband CDMA 3G subscriptions, and you can see that new regions like Africa, Eastern Europe, and North America are fast growing, even if still small numbers. And you can see here the uptake of, since December 2003, the very quick uptake of 3G UMTS and also EVDO going on. So this map, this world map, shows a global 3G plus panorama, and you can see that Africa is being colored more and more as time flies. For the most recent uplink part of HSPA 3G plus, more than 35 networks already launched commercially, mainly in Western Europe, but also in North America, Australia, and developed Asia, but also in Namibia. HSDPA launches catch up with wideband CDMA. You can see that now more and more operators do not deploy only 3G, but deploy 3G plus. At the beginning, in 2004, 2003, 2004, it was deployment of wideband CDMA only. Now the base stations include also the HSDPA capability, and nearly the same number of networks, HS-DPA networks, than wideband CDMA networks. And the wide choice of devices, these nearly 1,000 3G devices, 3G wideband CDMA devices, and including 400 of HSPA devices, with so diversified as USB modems, embedded devices, PC cards, routers, and handsets, of course. This growth, you can see now that 3G is no longer a project, but it's a commercial reality. What were the key drivers of this growth? Key drivers, of course, at first increased choice of terminals, but also terminals with smaller size and lower weight, comparable to 2G ones. Improved battery life, and also reduction in cost, reduction in entry costs, promotions, tariff incentives, flat rates. 3G is definitely the domain of flat rates now, unlimited offerings, and better customer experience through improved, of course, network coverage. Now, currently, 3G HS-DPA is offering 3.6 megabits and 1.4 megabits uplink for the networks launched. And at 3G applications, such as for business customers sending attachments via own messaging, business applications, SAP, Lotus, and so on, working on work areas, construction, real estate, building, exchange of maps, for instance, sending videos, telemedicine, telesecurity, surveillance, but also in the consumer area. Same email, mobile email definitely will be a key application of mobile broadband. Attachment via one-to-one messaging, but also the increasingly rapidly development of social network services, with the speeding of highly demanded community websites. It was a question of community in this conference, but community websites like YouTube, Amazon Video, Pico, MySpace, and user-generated content by the consumer, by the customer, by himself, online update or one's personal blog, interactive network gaming also, and interpersonal video communications via, for instance, MSN Messenger. So new users and contents are appearing. Mobile music downloading, you have here examples of Orange downloads, Free Music, Napster, Vodafone Spain, and also social networking and user-generated content. Some examples with SFR in France on Dailymotion website, O2 Germany online community quick, and growing fast on mobile. Some words, and it was a question of standards in the previous presentation, so I am glad to go on with the mobile part of 3GPP. And high-speed uplink packet access definitely offers complement to HS-DPA with an uplink speed up to 5.8 megabits, not immediately, but in the very near future, with a new uplink path, and enabling person-to-person online gaming, for instance, personal mobile web, mobile email with attachments, also high-quality video conferencing, so quite new applications for symmetric high-speed packet access. And let's mention one of our good members of the UMTS Forum, Mobilcom Austria. Mobilcom Austria was the first West European operator to have launched HS-DPA in February 2006 and HS-UPA in February 2007. And definitely they realized that customer requirements on the move of today and tomorrow are, for instance, easy and fast content publishing in internet, sending photos and presentations outside the office. And for that, HS-UPA, HS-DPA, for high-speed content up and download are quite convenient solutions, with immediate publishing of images and video clips, and video streaming and content retrieval in real time. And Mobilcom Austria also now offers all the range of speeds to the customer with a dual PC card HSUPA, HSDPA, with a 7.2 megabits downlink and 1.4 megabits uplink. And from Boris Nemtsov, the CEO of Mobilcom Austria, recently told that definitely the threshold of 1 megabit effectively received by the customer, effectively received and sent, uplink and downlink by the customer, is a real new customer experience that makes the customer comfortable with real mobile broadband. I think for that, the real HSPA with subsequent coverage brings a good response to that. HSPA will not be stopped at this step, even if it's quite good. And already in the 3GPP Release 7, the HSPA Plus, HSPA Evolved is already on trial, and with improvements such as radio interface optimization, with multiple input, multiple output, the MIMOs, the smart antennas, and 64 QEM improved modulation, and this will lead to much gain in terms of throughput. And for instance, last trials by Ericsson led to, in the context of Release 7, 12 megabits uplink and 23 megabits downlink, and in the context of Release 8 of 3GPP, 23 megabits uplink and 42 megabits downlink. So this is a way of optimization of HSPA by the operators that is quite promising in terms of performance and speed, and also in evolution towards a flat architecture with standalone node B incorporating the previous RNC functions. Now let's go to the next step, which could be called the 3G++, the last step in 3G evolution, as being standardized by the 3GPP, and by the end of this year, and perhaps by the middle of this year, the 100% of LTE will be finalized. Mobile broadband is an evolutionary process. Evolution is very important in this GSM UMTS roadmap to optimize current assets before moving towards new systems, network radio interface, and spectrum. Definitely, LTE has the aim to protect operator investments in GSM, wideband, CDM, HSPA systems, allowing a smooth migration according to market requirements while retaining the benefits of 3GPP family technologies such as, that you know in GSM, such as security, worldwide coverage, roaming, etc. And this table shows you this evolutionary process with, for instance, with 2G and 3G up to LTE, the use by the operators of for 3G, for instance, of the same licenses and same spectrum, and even refarming of 2G spectrum, that will enable the operators, without being obliged to pay new costly licenses, to deploy the 3G+, 3G++, and LTE networks before going to this 4G process within the ITU with the IMT Advanced. How will 3G LTE achieve its characteristics? Without entering too many details, key principles in terms of radio principle, no longer CDMA but OFDM. OFDM, let's summarize, telling that it's a similar technique than DSL and splitting, sharing the frequency in sub-frequencies, and enabling better propagation and error correction, sub-frequency selective allocation, interference mitigation at cell edge, with more powerful also use of MIMO algorithms, multiple input, multiple output, several antennas that go in, several antennas that go out, enabling to pass to bear more traffic, and flat architecture with flat architecture with, on the contrary of existing systems, only an access box, an entry controller, and application equipment, and that's all, and no longer RNC, GGSN, and so on. And also the with IP and PLS to modernize the transport of HCF+. The principle is to transport IP packets while guaranteeing quality of service requested by those packets. So, roughly speaking, what will LTE deliver? So, new radio access networks delivering increased data rates, and already 3GPP has demonstrated that not only 100 megabits but up to 300 megabits downlink and 50 megabits uplink would be reachable with carrier bandwidth up to 20 megahertz. Improved use of existing and future spectrum resources, reduced latency for the end user, all IP environment, flat all IP transition, and what is very important, coexistence with legacy standards, with 2G, 3G, in these GSM UMTS family. So LTE will enable new services and will enrich existing 3G applications, such as broadcast and multicast services, video telephony, multimedia conferencing and net meeting, gaming, on real-time multiplayer gaming, 3D, location-based services, e-commerce, and so on. In Barcelona, at the Mobile World Congress in February, there were many announcements on LTE. That was really a key topic in Barcelona, and not only GSM HSB operators, but also CDMA 2000 operators announced that they would converge for the next phase to LTE, to 3GPP LTE, like Verizon Wireless, AT&T, and also the Australian Telstra that will close up in the coming days by the end of April its CDMA network. The Korean operators, KTF, SKT, that will also converge towards LTE. And also, which is quite important, the Chinese operator, the biggest operator in the world, biggest GSM operator in the world, China Mobile, announced to join Vodafone and Verizon to trial LTE in both FDD and CDD spectrum, and there were many demonstrations by vendors. Also, what we can say is that the choice of upgrade path, LTE gives operators flexibility to migrate from current and legacy 3GPP and non-3GPP systems. Also for the various different steps, but also leapfrogging some steps, but also from non-3GPP technologies, of course, like CDMA 2000, going to, or WiMAX going to LTE. So this slide shows the evolution, IP-centric and multiple access evolution towards the IMT advanced phase. And just before giving some perspective for Africa, let's remind that we, at the UMTS Forum, we advocate for complementarity between networks and not substitutability. Wireless networks will coexist, whether it be a personal area network, local, metropolitan with the WiMAX, wide area network with 3G, there will be a complementarity for the result always best connected for the customer. Wireless LAN WiMAX are definitely complementary to 3G UMTS. Wireless LAN, for instance, is useful for high-speed intranet access for low mobility and stationary users, and also is part of the first step towards fixed mobile conversion via UMA technology for access to circuit switch over wireless LAN, and let's quote the Orange and T-Mobile convergent offerings. And many mobile operators integrate all those wireless LAN hotspots offerings. As for WiMAX, including WiMAX Mobile, it's a broadband wireless access for metropolitan area networks and will usefully address targeted market segments. As it was said a bit earlier by Angus Hay of Neotel, WiMAX will target narrow areas with highest density city for high-speed internet access in hot zones, residential wireless DSL, Wi-Fi hotspots and cellular backhaul, wireless mobility within specific geographical areas, mobility integrated within 3G and Wi-Fi networks, all in a spirit of complementarity for the customer, always best connected. Towards IMT Advanced and 4G, I will not insist on that, but let's mention that ITU has now confirmed that IMT Advanced will be used officially to designate 4G technologies, and various OFDMA-based candidate technologies are already on the table, and the vendors will submit their proposals in the 2 coming years to the bids that ITU will officially launch hopefully this summer after the 5G meeting of July. And at World Radio Conference 2007 in October-November, the UMTS Forum was quite active on calling administrations to allocate sufficient additional spectrum below 5 GHz on globally harmonized basis to meet future market demand for IMT advanced services in 2015 timeframe, with a particular emphasis on UHF band for coverage and C-band for capacity. Now, to finish on Africa, not to finish to begin, I have extracted these statistics from UB France, showing that 10 sub-Saharan African countries, the 10 first sub-Saharan African countries in terms of growth in mobile subscribers